I'm Patrick Bailey with whiteboardcoder.com. Today is August 14th, 2015, and in this video I'll be going over how to install and set up Tomcat 8 on Ubuntu 14.04.
This video went a lot longer than I thought it would. As a result, I had to split it up into 3 videos. This is the third part of the video. If you want to go to the first part or the second part, click on the links to those videos now.
Okay, now I need to fix something. If I do a cat on my logs, I grab for, let's see, APR. Where's APR? There we go. When I was looking through my logs before, when I was writing up this tutorial, I noticed this APR event kept coming up. And really, you can read up on this, but there's an APR tool that does some native things, it helps speed things up. So you might as well, I wanted to include this in the process to clean up Tomcat just to kind of get it done completely. To fix the APR, it's not really an error, it's more of a warning. What you do, I'm going to my home directory, and I'll do I need to make this wider. Okay, let's do a wget on this big long monster. But I'll put this in the show notes. So you can always look up on Tomcat Apache and they'll talk about this APR tool, but this is the native Linux tool. So you can grab it, untar it, cd into the directory. Oh, I want to do cd jni native. There we go. So get into the native directory, and then you have to do some fun stuff because there's some issues with where it's expecting things to be, especially with the Oracle Java, I guess. So you want to do set up some symlinks. I'm going to copy and paste this because it's not going to look right if I don't. I'm going to mistype something. They're just missing some folders in the wrong place. So you just have to run a few commands to make some symlinks to make this tool happy. Okay, so now that's done. So now here is the fun part. You have to configure it. So .configure with Java home equals user lib JVM Java 7 Oracle with APR equals user bin APR1 config with OS type equals include Linux. Oh, I did something wrong. With parameters incorrect. Oh, that's right. I just forgot to actually bother to install the tools. So sudo apt-get install lib apr1 and lib apr util1 lib apr1 -dev and lib ssl -dev and make. So install those guys. Oh, lib apr and lib. There we go. Spell it the right way. There we go. Okay, let all those guys install. Okay, now those are installed, I should be able to, let me copy and paste that so you can read that again. I should be able to run this configure because now the files are actually there. Let's see if she works. Ah, now it's happier. Okay, good. So now we run make and sudo make install. Okay, and then finally we're going to make a symlink. Let's see, it's user local APR lib to that guy to user lib tc native. I'm going to copy this down wrong. I'm going to mistype something. Okay, there we go. Now we should be good. So now let me go sudo service Tomcat stop. Oh, Tomcat 8. Oh, speaking of, let me go. While I was trying to fix that thing, I added some stuff. Okay, sudo switch user dash tom dash command. Okay, I added some stuff to the Catalina out in case I might have cut that out of the video, but let me go fix those real quick. Catalina.sh, I mean. Oh. When I was trying to debug this, I added all these guys. Let me remove those real quick so they're not. And I think I added something, yep, testing. Added those guys too. If you didn't add those, you don't need to remove them. I just added those when I was trying to debug it. Okay, so now it should be running. Oh, it's not running. Perfect. I need to remove the log file. I'm going to remove the log file because now I want to see if the APR issue comes back. So we start it, and okay, it's already started, so we can like that. Okay, no errors, so we fixed it. All right. So that's how you get that APR guy fixed. Okay, next thing, Tomcat users. Okay, again, as the Tomcat user, you want to edit those documents. Edit the you want to edit the tomcat-users.xml file, which is in apps, Tomcat 8, conf, and now lower, you can't see it because I'm not the Tomcat user, but there is a file called tomcat-users.xml. And so open it to edit it, and I'm just going to kind of wipe it out. And paste in my own. Now you can read up on a lot on how to set this up. This is just very bare bones basic. So I'm going to set up these users, and there's a manager GUI and an admin GUI, and the admin, for this purpose, he's going to have the password, my password. You know, please don't use that for your live system. Very bad, because someone can log in with admin and my password. But just for testing purposes, there we go. So this admin's going to, there's his name, his admin. His password is my password. His roles are admin GUI and manager GUI, which should give him access to the GUI. So I'll kill that, and I'll restart it. Oh, another thing with services, it will tab complete. Should have known that. Okay, so we started. And let me go open up my web browser again. And so now I should be able to go into server status, and I can log in as admin and my password. Don't save your password. And there we go. So we can see some of our settings that took place. There's the heap memory. There's our maximum. Oh, That's our old generation. Yeah, that makes sense. 512 right there, right? Yeah. Primgen, that's what we said, 256. Where's my Mac? Is that in here? Oh, there we go. Physical memory. Yeah, it looks right. Okay. I can go back here and go into Manager Apps, and there's my current running apps. Now, the default Tomcat has examples, and we probably want to get rid of that. And documents, we don't care about those. But that gets you access to all this stuff. Okay, next thing I need to edit is the server.xml file. And again, as the Tomcat user, apps Tomcat conf. And again, you can't see it, so I just got to type in that last bit. Okay, boom. Now again, I'm just going to delete this because I have my own, which is pretty close to what the actual one is, and I'll kind of go through what I did a little bit. Okay, let's see what I did different here. Most of this is the same, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same here. Still listed on port 8080 and 8443, still 8009. Here's what I changed. Now, this is interesting here because you can auto-deploy WAR files. So what this is set up to right now, our app base is web apps, the folder web apps, and I said unpack any WAR files to true and auto-deploy to true.
What this will do is if you put a WAR file in the web apps folder, it will unpack it automatically and it will auto-deploy it.
So I'll save that.
Now we want to deploy something. And since I'm working with Jenkins right now and figuring out how to do some deploys, I'm going to deploy a Jenkins WAR file. First, let's go into our Tomcat web apps folder. And if I look in here real quick, we'll see there's the docs and examples. And we really don't need those, so I'm just going to remove them. No reason to keep them around. Okay, now there's a couple ways we can do this on installation, but I did set our server up so that we can install merely by dropping a WAR file in there. It'll unpack it and deploy it on its own. Now, I did some tests, and you can just drop a WAR file in there while the server is running live, and it will deploy it. But it's probably not the best idea because as it downloads, it tries to deploy it a couple of times, and if you're trying to redeploy something that's already there, it works, but probably not the cleanest way to do it. Well, it may be fine, but in general, I'm just going to terminate. And this is not the only way to deploy WAR files, it's just the way I'm using right now. And so we'll stop Tomcat. So you can go over here to the Jenkins website, click on long-term support release, and then right-click on the older but stable here, WAR file, and copy the link address. And then here's what you do. You do a sudo switch user, switch to Tomcat, and for the command, do a wget. There we go. Let me do this so you can actually read it. I'll try it again. Switch to Tomcat, run the command wget, and we'll get the latest Jenkins WAR file. And then you can place it with -p where you want it to go. And so we want to drop it in the web apps directory. And that should do that. Okay, so that grabs the file and downloads it. Okay, now we should have it. Let me look here real quick. So there's the Jenkins WAR file. Tomcat owns it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to shrink this down a bit. and I'm going to tail the Tomcat file to show it's being deployed. Okay, then I'm going to come over here and on the same server, make it a little bigger, it's hard to see, and start. So now it should start up, and at some point it should grab, oh, it's already grabbing it. It's deploying the WAR file right there. There it goes. Looks like it's doing some Jenkins stuff now. Now if I look real quick, there's my Jenkins folder. And if I go pull up my my Tomcat here, I can go to Jenkins, and let's see if it deployed it. And there you go, Jenkins is deployed. Simple as that.
Okay, two last things before I end this. I thought I was kind of done, but there's just two more important things I want to go over real quick. One is VisualVM. So what you can do is you can go to visualvm.java.net and you can click on Downloads. You can go over here and you can see here's the visualvm.zip file, and just click on that and download it. Okay, so I can go here and click it Show in Folder real quick. I got a bunch of junk in here, don't I? So I'll extract all here. Click Extract. Okay, there we go. So now go in here and click on, let's see, bin VisualVM it. Okay, so double click on this guy, click on Run. Now let's start up another screen. Okay, there we go. So what we want to do, oh, looks like it remembered. So I'll delete. What you want to do is you go up here, File, and go Add JMX Connection. And you enter in the location. In my case, it's 195. 192, that's mine. I don't need to read it to you. You do your own. Okay, and put in the port you put in for your JMX. I put in 9090 on mine. Click OK, and then it should find it right there. Double click on that, and now you can go monitor your JVM. I'm not going to go into any detail on how to use this or what you can do, but I just want to show you it's a useful tool and how to use it, and to make sure that the Tomcat, that it can actually talk to the Tomcat and actually really see what's going on right now. So there's my JVM, there's my CPU usage, there's my memory, heap sizes, all that good stuff. Okay, close out of that. Other thing I wanted to go over real briefly is logrotate. I'm not going to go into super detail, I'm just kind of throw it out there. What we can have, it becomes a real pain if you don't pay attention. So here I have my Catalina out, right? And that's going to, if I don't do anything different, it's going to keep growing and growing and growing and growing. So what I want to do is set up a logrotate to rotate that file daily. Even if I have enough room to maintain that file and just let it grow indefinitely, it can be harder to search through or harder to know what's going on. And I'd rather have daily dated files. So I just, if I had a problem yesterday, I can go look at yesterday's file and grep through it and maybe find a problem, find out what happened. But anyway, so I will create a rotate file. So I'll go by etc logrotate -d tomcat. This will be our Tomcat logrotate. In fact, I should probably make it Tomcat 8. And then I'll just cut and paste here and go over what's important. Okay, what we've done here, and I've messed this up in the past before, what this will do is this will do your date format on the file, on the files you rotate out, and here's the extension. I'll put dot, it'll add dot out to the end. Well, it says what the actual extension is, dot out. I want it to rotate daily. If it's missing, it's okay, and I want to keep 30 days worth. And here's what the permissions I want on the newly created file. Now the important thing here is this copy truncate. And what that does, it basically says zero out the current file, create a copy, back up the daily, then zero out the current file in place. And so the Tomcat does not have to relinquish control of that log file. It's as if it just keeps logging to it. It's not aware that it's been zeroed out. Now, this is done for several reasons, but I recall at one point I had I don't know if it was an Apache or Nginx. I had some kind of web server log. And so what I did, I didn't realize you could do that. And so you can actually do some commands in here. So actually, I might be recalling incorrectly. But if I recall right, I had some commands in here that actually temporarily shut down Nginx so that you could rotate the log file, which is kind of dumb. This prevents you from doing that. If you don't do this, Tomcat still has hold of that .out file, the log file, and it won't let you rotate it, and this won't work. So anyway, you do that, and that's all you need to do, because it'll be picked up the next time a cron job goes through. Cron will check every minute or so, and then it'll run the next time it's supposed to run. Now you can do some checks. You can do a sudo logrotate -d logrotate conf, and that'll test it. That'll see what should run. And if I go up here, and there it is. And when you run that, it'll see if the log needs to be rotated right now. It's also a nice test. It says, yeah, there's the Catalina.out. It doesn't need to be run yet because the current file is not old enough, because we just started it today. Another thing you can do, you can see what logs have recently been rotating by going catting varlib logrotate status. And since I haven't logged anything, I haven't rotated anything, there's really nothing there right now. Anyway, I just wanted to cover those last two bits because rotating your files is really important, not only for debugging, but also you could keep writing too much data to your hard drive. And we've all been there, where we just fill up our data, we ignore it, we set up our system, life is great, but then our hard drive gets full and we crash everything. Also, it's nice to have the VisualVM in place and know it's working in case you need to debug stuff. Okay, well that's it for this big, long video tutorial on how to install and set up Tomcat 8.
Thanks for watching. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, please give it a like. To subscribe, just click the subscribe button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter under the handle @whiteboardcoder. View any code I may have put up as a gist on GitHub under the username patmandenver, or check out my blog at whiteboardcoder.com.